Welcome to the Man United stream. Hope you're doing well. It's Monday morning and, well, what a day. What a weekend. What can I say? I'm still shattered. I'm still knackered from yesterday. I'm still exhausted, emotionally exhausted from what we saw yesterday. Yes, it was a win. 2-1 win against our arch nemesis, our rivals, Liverpool, away from home. We've not won there since 2016. Almost a decade. And we finally got another win away from home at Anfield. And what a way. What a way to win against this Liverpool side with all them star-studded players, with all them players over 100 mil. We're talking about Verts, we're talking about Isaac, the names go on, Mo Salah, everybody in that team could not deal with our United team. It was lovely to watch. Finally, I've been calling out this United team to actually show some aggression and go out there and make some physical tackles. Go out there and leave your blood, sweat and tears out on that pitch. And we finally saw it. And I'm so pleased for the United players. Just seeing their faces at the end of the match. I mean, I watched it over and over again. Just the final whistle and the players on their reaction and their faces. You could see it on every single Man United face that they were overjoyed with the result. And why not? Why bloody not? I mean, we deserved it. We deserved it. I heard some fans saying some crap like, oh, yeah, we kind of, it was a smash and grab. No, it wasn't a smash and grab. Do not let yourselves be fooled into thinking it was a smash and grab. It was not. United outperformed Liverpool in the first half. Yes, in the second half they came out and of course we knew that they would have to defend. It was always going to be a defensive lineup in the second half. Liverpool, home side, they were going to of course have to come out. The crowd is going to be behind them and they're going to come out and try and get that equaliser. But United even defended well. United defended like a team. I loved watching it and there was an air of confidence within this United team. It was like I said it. I was doing the watch along yesterday and I said, we're going to win. There's something saying to me that United are going to still win, even though they equalised through Gapco. Again, that was a bit of a silly goal. We were just, it wasn't Liverpool deserving that goal. It was, yes, they were attacking and yes, they got a few chances and Gapco being the one who's hit the post a couple of times. But United, look, let's go back to the very beginning. Number one, United starting on the front foot. How many times have we seen it this season where United start off like a team on absolute fire? The players, we've seen it in every single game in this Premier League so far this season where United start off and they're very aggressive and I love that. In the first 10 to 20 minutes, United are always the team on top and I've been saying it in this season that United need to make use of them first 20 minutes of being on top. We're being aggressive, we're being on top, but we're not getting the goals. We need them early goals. I was saying against Fulham where we were literally all over Fulham and we should have got a goal or two, but we didn't. We didn't finish our chances and there after 20 minutes you go back. United go back to the old United, which is they start panicking, playing passes that are not on but this is the time, this game yesterday, we got our goal. We got our goal really early on in the first minute or bang on the minute and it changed everything. It changed everything because it put Liverpool on the back foot. Liverpool had to come out and play. But that's not saying that United immediately went and sat back and started defending. No, they didn't. United actually went and even created even further chances. Every time United were on the attack, it looked like they were going to score. That's the difference. And I was watching it thinking, yeah, we can go score again. And that Bruno Fernandes chance where he had the goal ahead of him, all he needed to do was put it on target and it would have probably been a goal. But he just missed and it went and hit the post and went out for a goal kick. But United were on top. The first half, they were giving as good as they were getting. In fact, I'd say United were the better team. But then in the second half, yes, Liverpool came out. Yes, Liverpool huffed and puffed and they wanted to get that equaliser and get the winning goal. And yes, they got that equaliser. But I was already thinking in my head, I was thinking, okay, look, we can still go. We can still go on this one. We can still carry on. It was Liverpool were looking at from their end, and they were looking at, right, we're going to go and score. We're going to go and get the winner. But I knew there's something about this United team yesterday. I was like, nah, they look like they're going to score. And then, look, it wasn't a fluke. It wasn't a fluke. There's some people saying, oh yeah, it was a lucky goal. Some fans still thinking that, look, United were maybe not deserving of the win, but hands down, United were the better team. They played football, and even Slot coming out and saying rubbish like, oh, United came and came to defend. What are you on about? What are you on about? United played your team at home and we dusted you, mate. We dusted you. We cleared the floor. We were the better team. We were the better team, and Harry Maguire getting that goal, well deserved. Honestly, well deserved. And I've been a critic of Harry Maguire, and I'm sure lots of other fans have as well. We've not all, thought Harry Maguire is the future of our United defence. But do you know what? Actually, going all the way back to the pre-match, and we got the team news, and I'm sure many fans did the same thing as me. And I looked at the team sheet, and I was like, no way are we playing with this team. No way has he put Harry Maguire in, Luke Shaw in, he's taken off Šeško, put on Kuna. What is he doing? What? And we were playing Dalot as well. Dalot! I mean, what's he doing with Dalot there? I was like thinking, no, this is not happening. We're going away from home at Anfield and we're going to get absolutely battered looking at this team sheet. But I held it together. I was thinking, but look, let's wait and see. Maybe there's something he knows that Rúben Amorim knows that we don't. Maybe he knows how to combat this Liverpool side. And then, well, immediately when we got the first goal, actually, one positive immediately for me on the team sheet was Ahmad and Mbeumo. Ahmad playing behind Mbeumo absolutely works. I mean, that is one combination on our side that no one can deal with. It's just too much running on that side of the pitch, too much forward runs, too much dribbling, and the defence don't know what to do. They don't know whether to track back with Mbeumo or whether to hold on to Ahmad. And that was absolutely brilliant, that combination. And we saw it within the first minute of the game. Nobody knows how to deal with Ahmad running, overlapping, and then you got Mbeumo there getting up after being fouled, after being taken out by Van Dijk, getting up and running between Van Dijk and Konate and getting at the end of the goal and then taking a right-footed shot into the goal. I mean, it was sensational. Brilliant play from Ahmad and Mbeumo. And then we had Kuna. Now, I must admit, I had my reservations about Kuna. I was thinking, Kuna, he's been out on international duty. There was lots of talk about him not being fully fit or not being 100%, having travelled out to Japan. It's a long haul flight coming back and forth with his international team. It was going to take a lot out of him. And the same thing with Casemiro. When I saw him on the team sheet, I was like, why is he playing two players that probably aren't absolutely shattered from the travelling that they've just done with the international team? And Casemiro, being the captain of Brazil, more or less played all the time, played all the games, all the minutes that he could have. And I was thinking, no way, they're gonna be tired. But look, hands up. I have to accept Kuna was, for me, the man of the match. I know he didn't score a goal. I know Harry Maguire, I think, got the official man of the match. But for me, Kuna was man of the match. And I'll tell you why. Most of you probably thinking, what's he on about? I mean, Kuna didn't score a goal, and Mbeumo scored the goal, Ahmad got the assist, Bruno Fernandes got the assist, and then Harry Maguire got the winner. So why is he saying Kuna is his man of the match? I'll explain to you why. Because Kuna, for me, was the guy who was holding the ball, and he was giving us some respite against this aggressive, forward-thinking Liverpool side. And Kuna was the guy who was getting the ball, holding it, and he was giving us respite. And he was tactical. He knew exactly what he was doing, trying to get some fouls, and he was giving Liverpool. And it was quite a bit of a nightmare for Liverpool because the defence didn't know what to do with him. The defence, he kept moving back into the midfield, and then the defence wouldn't know whether to go with him or stick and stay in their positions. It was really good by Kuna, really good. I was really impressed with him. It was a selfless performance. He was giving everything for the team. He knew, look, I'm not going to go and get a goal, but what I will be doing is holding up the ball, making it difficult for Liverpool to go and transition and go and attack us. Every time he was getting the ball, he was the only one who was actually holding onto the ball. The rest of the team struggled to hold onto the ball. I mean, the worst one being Dalot. Every time he'd get the ball, he wouldn't even look up. He wouldn't even look for a pass. He would just simply kick it out anywhere. Not someone I like as a player. Dalot is not someone I favour. But we got the win. We got the win, and that was the most important thing. And I'm so happy for the team. I'm happy for Rúben Amorim. And yes, we can start looking forward to the next game against Brighton. But this win against Liverpool isn't just about getting an away win and getting the first back-to-back wins under Rúben Amorim. This is all about sending a message to the rest of the clubs in the Premier League that United are here and we are going to make a difference this season. Look, we have been unlucky. If you look back at the games that we've played so far, we've had no luck go in our favour. Nothing. We have Bruno Fernandes missed that penalty against Fulham. There's other times in these games we had that absolute shambolic performance by our goalkeeper Altay Bendy against Arsenal, giving them that 1-0 lead and win. Again, we were unlucky. We were unlucky in them games. But this time round, I think this game, do you know what? We've seen United play many games and win many games, and we've all said it. Oh, maybe this is the turning point. Maybe this is the time we are actually going to turn a corner and we're going to improve and we're going to kick on now and do well. But I can tell you from yesterday's win, that is it. That is the turning point. That is a point where you saw that the players believe. It wasn't against Chelsea. It wasn't against other teams and other performances. Yeah, we've seen United win in other performances and we've said, right, that was a really good performance. But yesterday's win had something else. It had grit and it had determination and it had unity. And that's been missing in this United team. You could see in their faces, the players finally, it looks like, have started to believe. They've started to believe in their own abilities and in one another, which was very, very important. And this is what we'd been missing for a long time in this United team. And Rúben Amorim, you could see, he was slightly emotional at the end of the game. You could see it was finally like, yes, it's finally come together. Everything I've been saying, everything I've been wanting, and I've been saying to the fans and I've been telling the press that, look, this is the team that it will work. It will finally connect. And you could see that he was overjoyed with saying, right, okay, this is it. This is how it's happened. And it was really interesting hearing him a post-match press conference from Rúben Amorim and what he had to say. And obviously he was essentially gave the press as good as they got, saying, look, you've been going on about this system, including me, and including lots of other content creators all over YouTube, all over the media, all over everywhere. Everyone's been questioning Rúben Amorim and his formation and his system and whatever else, saying, look, and his selection. We've all been questioning it. We have to hold our hands up, and I'm going to be the first one to do that. I'm not going to be one of those kind of guys who's going to say, oh, I was backing Rúben Amorim all the way. No, I wasn't. Look, I've said it consistently. I love Rúben Amorim. I think he's a good manager, but his win rate needs to improve. And that's, I'd say it's a fair criticism of Rúben Amorim. And I'm sure he would also accept that, look, yes, I'm a good manager, but my win rate isn't as good enough and it needs to improve. And, well, we've got to say factually what there is on paper. If that's what's happening to United, we need to be able to have the ability and the know-how to actually say that. But you don't throw the baby out with the bathwater either. That's my take on it. You don't simply say, get rid of Amorim completely and he don't give him any time. No, I'm saying, look, yes, let's give him some time to improve his win rate. Yes, let's see what he can do. And after yesterday's performance, and this isn't a fluke. This isn't a fluke. We went and did really well against Anfield last season. We had a really good performance under Rúben Amorim. So if you look at Rúben Amorim and look at how we perform against the top teams, we perform really well against the top teams. I think United just need to start being consistent when it comes to playing the mid-table teams and the lower table teams. That's where we kind of struggle because we take our eye off the ball. And I think that's where we need to start actually improving. Now, the next game against Brighton, and immediately we heard Rúben Amorim talk about, we've got a Brighton next game, I'm already thinking about that. And the reporter was like, what are you talking about? You need to celebrate, surely, this win. And he was like, no, because I'm already thinking about the next game. I don't want this to be a one-off. I don't want this to be a one win and then another loss. Yeah, we've got our back-to-back wins. And there was Rúben Amorim was kind of being cynical, having a chat with in the post-match press conference, saying, well, look, it was all about I want the press to stay on my back. I want them to say, and let's see if you can get 3 back-to-back wins. Let's see if you can actually get a 3rd win in a row now. And he goes, I like it. I like you staying on my back. He goes, I want you to do that. I want you to carry on this discussion about my system, about the formation, about everything. I want you to stay on our back. I don't want you to walk away saying, that's it, United have turned a corner. He didn't want that. And you just saw what he was trying to say. He was saying, look, yeah, you've been unfair to me and the team, but we like it because that criticism inspires us even further. But look, I've not spoke to anyone who said United didn't deserve that win. Even Liverpool, even the fans knew that their side simply did not perform. Simply were outclassed, outplayed, and outdefended. Let's be honest. United defended like a team. They had both the balance of defending well, and then they also had a very good attack. And then Mbeumo being an outlet for them was brilliant. And then, look, credit where credit is due. First of all, guys, welcome to the channel. Make sure you hit the like button on the stream, and if you're not already subscribed, make sure you hit the subscribe button. I always forget saying that, but look, I'm so excited and so passionate about what is happening with United and the win and everything. You forget all the formalities. But anyway, guys, make sure you hit the like and of course subscribe if you're new to the channel. And if you're not new to the channel, drop your comments. Let us know what you think about yesterday's win. Are you happy with the win? Who do you think who was your man of the match? That's what I want to know. I want to know who your man of the match was, because for me it was Kuna. I know that might be a bit of a strange choice to many people out there, but look, I like watching players off the ball. I like seeing what they're doing for the team, and it's not necessarily just about scoring goals. Of course, that's very important to me, but I also want to see some real leadership in this team. And if I see people like Kuna giving the team something that they need at a time when they're desperate for it, that for me is very, very important. And I saw Kuna just playing out of his skin, holding the ball, making life difficult for the Liverpool defenders. And I love that. I love that, because Liverpool were not getting everything their own way at home at Anfield. They expect to have the ball. They expect you to be hitting you constantly and constantly, wave after wave, a wave of attack. That's what they wanted. But every time we were getting the ball out to Kuna, I could see him getting the ball and stopping play, slowing it down. And I kept shouting out yesterday, I was like, slow it down, slow the play down, because do not work at the same pace as Liverpool, because they want you to. They want you to keep the pace up. They want you to actually carry on this pace so they can win the ball back and go again and attack again. And it was fantastic to see players like Kuna and Mbeumo as well, holding the ball up and trying and slowing things down. And look, we don't give credit where it's due. Again, Rúben Amorim, I've questioned some of his tactics sometimes and his substitutions, but yesterday he got it spot on. Not just with the team selection. Of course, Maguire was absolutely brilliant. Luke Shaw was very good, and Kuna, obviously, for me, was man of the match. But also with the substitutions. The subs that he put on at the times that he did were excellent. Excellent. I didn't agree with him taking off Ahmad. I was thinking, why is he doing that? But the way he switched the team around and put Dalot on that side, on the right wing back position, to handle Gakpo, because Gakpo was our problem guy. He was the guy who was actually causing United the most problems. He was the guy who was cutting in on his on his right foot and shooting every time, and Ahmad really couldn't defend against him. So that move by Rúben Amorim to move Dalot onto that side and give us a bit more defensive capabilities against Gakpo was brilliant. Then he obviously brought Dogu on the other side. Again, defensively, he handled Salah I'd say slightly better. I won't say he was excellent. Salah still was Salah, still got quite a few dribbles and chances, but he handled him okay. And then the final icing on the cake, or the cherry on the cake, shall we say, was him finally taking off Bruno Fernandes. And I was shouting out, look, Bruno Fernandes needs to come off. He needs to come off. And this was even before his assist, I must admit. This was even before his assist for the second goal, the winning goal from Harry Maguire. And it was a lovely lofted ball into the area, and it was a brilliant assist. But defensively, he was struggling. You could see for the last, say, 20 minutes of the game, he was struggling. He was struggling to get back and get the ball, and just wasn't running as much. And defensively, he wasn't offering United anything. And you could see, actually, whenever the ball was coming to him, and this is obviously a key sign of a player being tired, he couldn't pass the ball. He couldn't look up and find a player, and he kept losing the ball. And I said, look, if Rúben Amorim does not take Bruno Fernandes off in this game, we're gonna either draw or lose, and it will be all down to him not making that substitution. But he did make that substitution, and it instilled so much faith in the manager for me, because I thought, wow, so he can take Bruno Fernandes off. All his criticism about not taking Bruno Fernandes off, no matter what, went out the window for me. I was like, finally. He brought on Kobbie Mainoo, and Kobbie Mainoo made a difference. He gave us legs in that midfield, and he defended against a Liverpool side that was desperate to get an equaliser and a winner. That's the difference. It was absolutely, I think, 10s across the board. For me, it was high scoring in terms of the average performance by every single United player. The only one I'd pick out as a negative was Dalot. I thought he was the only one who's probably in about 6 or 7, right? Okay, but everybody else was high 8s, 9s, and if not even 10s. That's how good United played. For me, going away to Anfield is never ever easy. It's an awful place to go to as an away player, because the crowd's on top of you. They don't give you any time, and then the players are on top of you as well. It's an awful place for an away player to play in. And they all say it. Look, it's not easy. Liverpool playing at Anfield is not an easy thing to do, but going there and actually winning and silencing the crowd and stunning, we humbled Liverpool, and I loved every minute of the game. And I hope you did too, guys. But look, we've got to go again. Tomorrow, not tomorrow, but on the next weekend, I think it's Saturday, we've got Brighton. We've got to go again. Brighton's not going to be an easy game. Brighton is not going to be an easy game, and we're going to have to, again, come up and produce a game and produce a performance like we did against Liverpool. There's no point celebrating this and going absolutely crazy and then losing next week to Brighton. We need to go again. We need to push forward and go for the third win and really, put our marker down. Put a marker down for the rest of the Premier League, saying we are here. And look, we've had a crazy run of games. We've not had it easy. Playing Arsenal, playing Man City, playing Liverpool, playing Chelsea. These are top teams that we've played against, and still we've got some points from them, and we are still in the top half of the table. So now, look, we can start looking forward to actually going and putting some serious points on the table, and we can move up slowly and hopefully get into them Champions League spots. I think once we do that, I think United will get more confidence, and the players will build more confidence, saying, right, okay, look, we've been through the ringer. We've already played all these teams early on in the season, and we've done pretty well with them. We've done pretty good against Arsenal. We were unfortunate to lose it. At the very least we should have got is a draw from the Arsenal game at Old Trafford. And then the other games that we've kind of stumbled on and messed up on, really, we didn't deserve that either. We didn't deserve that. Guys, Make sure you hit the like button on this video. Please make sure you comment as well. Let me know what you thought about the game, who was your man of match, and who you thought was the difference maker. And what do you think about Rúben Amorim and his team selection? Were you confident going into this game? I spoke to many fans and they all said the same thing, which was we were not confident. We were not confident when we looked at the team sheet and we saw Sesko missing. We saw some changes at the back as well. We were thinking we're doomed. Oh, again, another mention to Mason Mount. Again, an unsung hero. Another guy that gets overlooked. You kind of, because he's doing all the hard work, the dirty work that you don't really see, you forget he's actually there. And you forget what a job he's done. But Mason Mount, again, what a performance. What a player. Again, selfless performance. Goes out there and does the job that no other player really wants to do. He tracks back, runs and does all the hard work. It doesn't get the acclaim that he actually deserves. But yesterday, again, he was really, really solid, really good for us. And you can see why Rúben Amorim and lots of other coaches come in and they like Mason Mount, because he leaves everything out on that pitch. Absolute brilliant performance by Mount, and again, someone that we need to be looking at and saying, right, okay, this guy is now solid. He's our solid. He should be in there. He should be in our starting lineup. We can't be thinking about him being a substitution and a bit part player. He gives United that defensive awareness as well as going forward and attacking. Same thing with Kuna. Look, overall, I'm just now. I was thinking this morning. Will Rúben Amorim change this team for the Brighton game? That's the only worry I have. I'm not a big fan of changing up the team again and again and changing up the players. Will he not? What do you think? Do you think he should? Do you think he shouldn't? My opinion would be I'd keep the team as it is. I'd keep the team as it is and just go into the Brighton game and hope that we can again cook with the same team. And obviously another mention, how many players can I actually mention? But last one, I promise, this is the last one before we finish, which is Senny Lemons. What a goalkeeper we have. I mean, these are the little things that make a huge difference in these kind of games. Having a half-decent goalkeeper, and I'm saying half-decent because we're not fully sure what he's capable of. I don't want to get carried away and say he's the world's best or blah, blah, blah. So I'm just saying to you, look, at least we've got a half-decent keeper in there and he can make them crucial saves at crucial times. And look, if we had Altay Bender in there, that would have been a goal when Isak came and went one-on-one with Senny Lemons. But Senny Lemons smothered that. Again, he did it again, I think, with Salah. He ran straight out to him before he could settle down and look for a spot and shoot. This was in the second half. He didn't get it on target, Salah didn't. He just kicked it over the goals. But that was all down to the goalkeeper rushing out and spreading himself. Brilliant performance, and hopefully this is it. This is what we needed. We needed that final piece in the jigsaw. Now, can you imagine if we had that defensive midfield player as well? Although Casemiro had a very, very good game, and hopefully he can carry on in the same vein going forward. He is riding high. He's very confident. He has been integrated back into the Brazilian international team with Ancelotti now being the manager of Brazil. Of course, he worked with him in Real Madrid, and yeah, Casemiro is loving it. He's loving it. He is back to his very best. If you look at him playing playing for Brazil and now United, so he's looking very, very good, and hopefully he can carry on the rest of the season in this form. And Harry Maguire, finishing off on him. I carry on, don't I? Carry on. I'm carrying on. We've got a couple of minutes. Let's make it a 30-minute video, right? Okay. So Harry Maguire. Well, look, before this, I think a week ago, we heard about him getting a new contract for Man United, and we were all discussing it, and I was like, oh, is it worth giving him a new contract? Come on, seriously? We're going to spend another 6 mil or so in his salary, giving him another contract extension for a year. Why don't we just put that money and go and buy another centre-back, And I take all that back. I'm thinking right now, if Harry Maguire can put in them kind of performances, let's give him an extension. Let's give him another year on his contract, because look, he's he keeps on coming out and defying us. He keeps proving us wrong, and I love that. I want him to come out and prove us wrong. I want him to say, well, look, I'm still here, guys. Through thick and thin, no matter what's been thrown at me, I'm still here, and I'm still coming up with these big goals in big games. And this is not the first time. If it was the first time he's done this, we could say, all right, look, this is a one-off, but it's not. He's done it in other big games. He's come up and he's scored these big goals for us. And, well, look, let's give him that bloody extension. Let's box him off and keep him at United for another season or two, depending on what happens. But, guys, that is it for today's show. Make sure you hit the like button on this video. Make sure you subscribe if you're not already a subscriber to the channel, so you can keep up to date with all the latest Manchester United news and more from, obviously, one single daily dose. You are watching the Man United Stream channel, a channel by the fans, for the fans. Goodbye. See you later, guys. Enjoy the rest of your day, guys. Enjoy the rest of your day.